Before I go ahead and introduce array to you, I would like to discuss something. If I ask you to write a program to find out the sum of three numbers, the first thing that you are going to do is to declare three numbers in primary memory so that you can keep three numbers and one for holding the maximum of these three numbers. And the rest of the thing is quite easy, straightforward. We have done that in our earlier tutorial. We need to input three values in A, B and C using scanf, and we should go on comparing them to find out the maximum. Now if I ask you to find out the maximum amongst 50 numbers, are you going to declare 50 variables in order to keep all those 50 values? Then that's going to be insane, isn't it? You may require to find out maximum amongst 5,000 numbers, and in such cases you are not going to declare all 5,000 variables in order to keep 5,000 numbers. So what's the solution? The solution is array. You need a data structure in order to hold data in your primary memory so that your program can efficiently access and process data. Array is one such data structure, a primary one. In C, we declare an array in this way. The syntax is pretty simple. Here, X is the name for the array, 100 is the size of the array, and int is the type for the array. That means X is an array of 100 integers. So X can contain 100 integers in primary memory. Now, if I just draw the picture to make you understand, it's something like this. Please remember that array is always contiguous allocation. That means the memory is not discrete. All the elements of the array is allocated one after another in the primary memory. So there are 100 rooms for array X, since the size of the array is 100. So there are 100 rooms and they are contiguous. Each room is accessible through the index number, where the index number of the first room is 0, and therefore the index number of the last room of this array is 99. So if there are n elements in an array, always the index of the last room is n-1 and the first room is 0. Array is always homogeneous. That means all the rooms contains same type of data. You cannot have an array where the first element contains integer, second float and third double. That's not possible. In order to access the elements of an array, what you need to do is to mention the index number with the array name and the subscription operator. This third bracket is called the subscription operator. Now if I want to access the array element, say I want to assign 10 to the first element, then this is the syntax. X0 indicates or refers to the first element of the array equals to 10. Then 10 is assigned to the first element. Now if I want to assign 2 to the last element of this array, then I should write something like this: x99 equals to 2. Now if I want to print the content of the last element, then I should write something like this: %d x99, that is going to print the last element. I want to add up the content of first element and the content of last element, and I want to put it on the second element. So the second element could be referred using the index number 1. So x third bracket 1, that is referring to the second element of the array, and I want to add up the first element with the last one, and I want to put it to the second element. So this is the syntax. Now this is going to add the first element with the last element, and the result is going to be assigned to the second element. So now if I print the content of the second element, it's going to be the summation of first element and last element. So second element of the array %d \n is going to be x1, and I can print the first element as well here. First element %d \n, it's x0. Last element %d \n is x99. So I'm going to execute the program to show you that it's working fine. Here you go. So the first element is 10, the last one is 2, and sum of the first and last kept in the second element is 12. So the benefit of having array is that mentioning the index number and the name of the array, we can just refer to any room that contains some value. We don't need to declare 100 different variables, but a single array is going to do the trick for us. Now, if I go on further, say I want to assign 1 to 100 to each room of this array X, which is having 100 elements. That means the first room should be initialized with 1, second room with 2, third room with 3, and so on. The last, that means the index number 99 is going to be assigned with 100. So I can just write a loop in order to do that. Instead of individually accessing each and every element, I just can do that using a for loop. Starting from 0, it should go up to 99. That means less than 100. So each time I'm increasing I by 1. So now in the for, what I'm writing, xi equals to I plus 1. So you can see that what I did, I equals to 0 is my starting point. I is playing the role of index here and is helping me to access the individual element of the array. So what I'm doing, this is my array in the memory, X. The index of the first room is 0, second room is 1, and so on. Last is 99. So I starts from 0. I is actually the index number for this array. I is here right now at the first room. 0 less than 100, so I will go up to 99. That's the index for the last room. 0 less than 100 is true for the first time, so we are entering to the loop body. X is 0, that means it is referring to the first room. It is assigned with 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1 means that is 1. So the first room is assigned with 1. Then the loop goes here. The I is increased to 1. So the I goes to the next room. So we come here in room number 2. Now 1 less than 100 is again true. So the control enters into the loop body. So now this time x1 refers to this room. So that is going to be assigned with 1 plus 1, 2. The value of I is 1. So that is added up with 1, that is 2. So in this way it's going on. It will go on, and here it will be assigned with 100. And when the value for I is 100, then it comes out of the loop. I can just print the array for you into the console so that we see that it is really happening correctly. So I'm writing the code to print the content of the array. So it's going to be again from I equals to 0 to I less than 100, I plus plus. And what I'm doing here is printf %d, and I'm putting a comma. So it will print each number from each room, and then a comma comes so that we can separate the numbers, and then xi. So when I is equal to 0, x0 is the first room, I is equal to 1, then x1 is the second room, and so on. So it will go on iterating through the elements of the array, and it will print the content of each element. So in this way, by just writing a for loop or while loop, we can process each and individual element of the array, no matter how big it is. Let me just execute this. So you can see that the content of the array, it is starting from 1 and it is going up to 100. So these are the content of the array that we have assigned using the for loop.